So I'm not a big sequel or prequel fan. I actually believe this story has a beginning, middle, and an end, and once it's over, there's no sense going on. But they're bringing out 2 new sequels of Lord of the Rings and the other Game of Thrones. I watched the Lord of the Rings trailer a while back. It's months ago now, and it looked pretty fantastic to me, but now they've brought the full trailer out. So let's take a look at that. I haven't seen it yet. I'm watching it with you, but let's see the sequel. It's called The Rings of Power, and it's set in the second age of Middle-earth.
There was a time when the world was so young. There had not yet been a sunrise. But even then, there was light.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect, dwarfs their mines, men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
You have not seen what I've seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen what I have seen.
Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples.
I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all.
The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Well, I have to say, visually, that looks pretty spectacular. That's what I reacted to the first time. The visual effects just look absolutely brilliant. Looked a little woke to me. Always got to have the woman with the sword. You can't have a woman who's wise or tender or gentle or mothering. You know, the guy, no. It's got to be, I have the sword.
For the honor of Grayskull!
That's nonsense. I'm sorry, it's nonsense. It's, you know, I don't want to, let me make that more nuanced. It's complete nonsense. I find that kind of thing unwatchable at this point. I just want a story that actually has real human beings, the way actual human beings are. But we'll see. We'll give it a chance because it does look amazing. Let's see the other one. What is the other one? It's called The Age of Dragons or something? The House of the Dragon. And this is the Game of Thrones sequel. They couldn't even finish Game of Thrones well, but they've got a sequel. So let's take a look at this. I'm seeing this for the first time too.
The dream. It was clearer than a memory. And I heard the sound of thundering hooves, splintering shields and ringing swords. And I placed my heir upon the Iron Throne. And all the dragons roared as one.
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
Who else would have a claim?
The firstborn child.
Rhaenyra. No queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
The king has an heir, Daemon Targaryen.
I will not be made to choose between my brother and my daughter.
Rhaenyra's succession will be challenged. Knives will come out.
You are the king. Your duty is to take a new wife.
I have decided to name a new heir. I'm your heir. War is afoot.
Do you think the realm will ever accept me as their queen?
A woman would not inherit the Iron Throne, because that is the order of things.
When I'm queen, I will create a new order.
Your family has dragons.
They are a power men should never have trifled with.
She could cut off any challenge to her succession.
I am to inherit the Iron Throne. She will block my way.
Our hearts remain as one.
Oh, our hearts were never one. Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne? Where is duty? Where is sacrifice? Now they see you as you are.
I said it was a sequel. It's obviously a prequel. HBO Max. I'll give it a maybe. It looks interesting, entertaining. Looks like it has some good sword fights. They say there's going to be less exploitative sex, so that's a negative. But we want as many actresses exploited as humanly possible. That's what they're there for. But here's what I actually suspect, and this is only suspicion because I haven't seen it. But what made Game of Thrones great was the absolute realism of the unexpected. The fact that people you loved got killed. The fact that bad guys won. The fact that women didn't have power. That they were at the mercy of people because there were no guns, right? Guns are what made people equal. And, that started to fade as they got away from the novels, as they got away from the source material. They started to be affected by the New York Times and by the left and all the things that go into these people's little brains. And they started to basically make it the usual Hollywood fare. My guess is that this will be the usual Hollywood fare, but I don't want to be unfair and say that because I just don't know. And we'll see if it can capture. They never know what actually made. The reason prequels and sequels are usually not good is they don't know what it was that made the first thing great. So they have The Matrix and they make the sequel and they think, well, it had a lot of slow motion action, so we'll put a lot of that in there. But that's not what made The Matrix great. What made it great was its original idea. What made Game of Thrones great was the absolute realism and cruelty of the way that power worked. If people didn't have power, they got nailed. If people had power, they succeeded. If they lost power, if they didn't take care of their power, they failed. And all of that was very realistic, and it just made it kind of riveting because you thought, oh, I'm watching real life, except there are dragons in it. It was really a very powerful combination. If they can match that, it'll be great. If they can't, it'll just be another dragons and sword and sorcery thing, but we will see. If you need more Klavan-y goodness, and who doesn't, you want to like and subscribe to my podcast wherever you get your podcasts.